All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our comedy show. Super excited to have everyone here. So first things first, hi everyone, my name is Emily. I am one of the co-founders of Asian Female Nomads. Everyone who's watching right now, let me know where you're calling in from at this moment. So in the chat, tell me what city are you coming from? I'm in Singapore. Everyone else just add in where are you? Are you in San Francisco?
What?
Yeah.
Toronto.
Oh shit.
Toronto.
What's 6IX?
The 6? Oh, that's Toronto.
Okay.
So
That's awesome. Ooh, we got someone from Cambodia and Argentina as well. Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. Our first comedian, she is Amy Yu. So after getting depressed from being a mediocre CPA and obedient Chinese daughter, very relatable actually, Amy decided to learn comedy at Second City, switch her career, and go through puberty. Due to ADHD and fear of commitment, she ended up with multiple new identities, basically becoming a product manager, a stand-up comedian, and a wannabe nomad. And so she aspires to insert comedic relief into every product demo while working remotely. I'm giving you the stage. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Yo, thank you, AFM. Thank you, AFM. So this is the first time I see so many Asian ladies coming to my set. It's a little bit tough year for for Asian people in general. As a Chinese Canadian, outside of home, I try not to get killed by white racists. And at home, I try not to get killed by my parents for being a stand-up comedian, which is why I'm doing this set in the basement. Public service announcement. I hope there's no kids or Chinese parents in this room because, warning, what I'm about to share tonight is going to either trigger the older generation or cause some trauma for the younger generation. I'm 27 years old, and I'm going through a delayed puberty right after a quarter-life crisis because as much as I love my parents, they got me really confused because they contradict themselves all the time. So growing up, my parents forbid me from dating in school so that I can get as much Asian pass as I can. But right after I graduated, my parents now want 2 grandkids. But mom and dad, I'm still single. So I think the only way for me to, fulfill this family KPI is asexual reproduction. like coronavirus, because I don't really know how else I can meet your project timeline with your desired level of efficiency. I mean, it's a pretty difficult KPI to meet because my mom is horrified of the idea of me having sex. So when I was a teenager, we once watched this Chinese movie together where there's a poor girl who got an abortion. It was a really scary and bloody scene. But what's more traumatizing was my mom turned up the volume to make sure I hear that girl's cry in the movie. And she was like, this is why you should save your sex until marriage. Because otherwise, you can be her. I was so traumatized that my puberty got delayed. I didn't get laid until I graduated from college. So 2 years ago, my home in Toronto got robbed. And as a result, my parents put security cameras around the house in order to spy on me. So, every time I brought a guy home, I had to come up with a different story. We're just study buddies. We study just buddies. We'll use the basement for some, work and research. Research human biology. Oh, the camera's off again. Sorry, mom and dad. I think the internet has an outage because you guys bought the cheapest plan. The blame is not mom. So I think those stories stopped working nowadays because my mom has got more paranoid. So one day I was showering. I stepped out of the shower when a new comedy idea popped in my head. So I decided to, grab my phone and jot it down. And then my mom broke into the bathroom without knocking. Of course, she's an Asian parent. So she saw me standing there, wet and naked, with a big, stupid smile on my face, staring at my phone. So she was like, "What the fuck? Are you nude chatting with someone?" And I was like, "First of all, Mom, what the fuck? Why do you think I'm that kind of person? Also, why do you think someone would do that with me?" What's more awkward than my mom catching me naked or catching me bring a guy home is when she found out about my toys. In a Disney backpack. The happiest place on earth where all the dreams come true. I think she was looking for cartoon highlighters. I don't blame her. They were both kind of cute and colorful, So we avoided the topic for a week. And then I decided to have a sex education 101 with my mom. It was very eye-opening for my mom. Because it went like this. "Yo, I don't get why you young people like sex so much. It felt like chores with your dad." And I was "Mom, that's why you should experiment a little bit more. Sometimes you should just let it go, or go under the sea, or try Beauty and the Beast. And then you will enter a whole new world."
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the magic of Disney. So my parents always want the best of my life and my career. And as a result, I majored in accounting at University of Toronto because my mom is an accountant and my dad teaches accounting. So I didn't choose my major. I was born into it. But I have a love-hate relationship with business school because it's pretty much immersing myself in 4 years of bullshit. The most bullshit part about business school is the networking event because I meet all kinds of people I hate. The first type of people is the flirty bitches. So every time when there's like a male recruiter who is like borderline cute, oh my God, all the girls just got crazy. And they were like playing with their hair, flashing their falsies, and like, "Oh my God, I really like the color of your tie. It matches your eye color," to the male recruiter. And I'm like, "Girl, are you looking for a job or sugar daddy? Do you need a reference or do you need a room?" Yes. The second type of people that I hate is the business card distributors. So we pay really expensive tuition in order to print out like 100 business cards that we can hand out with everyone. So as a result, a lot of people just hand out those business cards, like restaurant handing out those cheap, shitty flyers that nobody really want to look at. But the thing is, because our program is so cheap, there's always more students, way more students than company reps. So it usually goes like this: "Please take my car. Nice to meet you. Please take my car." Wait, you're a student too? Okay, still take my car, but don't apply for the same job as me. I hate you for being here at the same event. And the third type of people that I hate is the people who will tell the recruiter, "I'm very passionate about accounting and audit," because everyone knows you're lying. You're just very desperate to become a corporate slave at Big Four because you cannot find more interesting jobs. I know that for a fact because I used to be that fake desperate bitch. So I really don't like fake networking because faking during networking is like faking during sex. You have to pretend you like the person. You have to pretend that they hit all your right spot. You have to laugh at their lame jokes. And worst of all, when you leave the room, you always feel this giant emptiness in your body, your heart, and your soul. But going to interview is even worse, because going to interview is like being a prostitute. You have to dress up, you have to fake your smile and put on some perfume to smell good, and you have to suck up to someone in order to get paid. Like, I'm so done with that business school bullshit that I lost interest in all business school boys. Like, buy basic accounting boys, buy pretentious management consultants, and buy all the bankers. I love tech guys. I love tech guys. So if I went to University of Waterloo, I believe I'll be engaged by now. I like tech guys because they have amazing flexible fingers.
Okay.
I grew up having an obsession with classical pianists for that reason. But ever since a Q software engineer fixed some bugs on my computer, I never have my eyes on a classical pianist again. Because as a CPA and an ex-auditor, nothing is hotter than a tech guy doing some stuff I cannot do on my asset. My biggest fantasy is having a software engineer debugging me while we have an intellectual debate about the tech gods we worship. Elon Musk versus Steve Jobs versus Bill Gates. It doesn't matter which team he's on, as long as he's not micro or soft.
Yes.
Can pay the bill. Hook me up with some tech jobs. And elongate, I will open my gates for him. I also like guys who I don't deserve. So when I was dating my ex-boyfriend, people used to look at us and be like, oh my God, what a cute matching couple. I really hate that comment because you know what? My ex-boyfriend looks like the combination of Asian Hulk who gave up on working out and a panda. Not cute. A panda that is not cute. One time, we went on a cottage trip together with my friends. My ex stepped on a rock and he rolled down the hill. Not like a panda, but like a ball, like a bowling ball. I swear to God, I do not want to be matching with that stuff. For my future husband, I want people to look at us and be like, that lucky bitch. How the fuck did she do that? Like, does she have a lot of money or she just gives really good blowjob while blindfolding a guy? That's the power couple status I aspire for. But unfortunately, I was not very lucky with the Toronto tech market. I was so desperate that I decided to do stand-up comedy at a Silicon Valley online talent show during the pandemic. Guess what? It works. Because I think those techies really love this different form of stand-up outside their Scrum team. So 3 guys hit on me last year. I had 3 relationships. All of them lasted for 2 weeks.
Oh.
So pretty much a moment said, Amy, I really like you. Let's go on a date. He was submitting his 2-week resignation notice. Like, it felt like having the 2-week free trial of Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and Netflix in a row. And just when I was ready to give them my credit card and pay for that full subscription, my access got denied. I mean, why would you deny long-term sustainable profit? So my parents want me to have a man and a stable life. The problem is, I don't think those two can coexist. Because my man never stick. They just want to stick themselves in me. I'm a recovering CPA. And I keep track of their performance, like keeping track of my investment. Whenever I miss their company, I just look at my stock portfolio. Yo, Facebook dropped. Fuck you, fuckboy Frankie. Amazon's so unstable these days. You need to take care of your mental health, anxious Adam. Work-life balance. Google's going up. I know my boy Geeky Gary has potential. But there's an issue about dating tech guys. They are just like their companies. Both overvalue as fuck. When I chose to date a tech guy, I thought I was a value investor. Turned out I just bought a bunch of meme stocks. So like, it kind of feels like buying ARK funds and Tesla at their peak. And 2 weeks after that honeymoon period, my heart bleeds as much as my Quest rate account. But you know what? I will still buy back every single div because my sex life is as low as my GIC interest rate. So I noticed that in the past 2 years, I had a new crush on some random tech boy every quarter. By this frequency, if I want to get engaged by the age of 30, I need to meet 12 more potential future husbands. So last year, a friend told me that the average ratio of product manager to software engineer is 12-1 at a tech company. That's why I ditched my CPA career and became a product manager to be more productive with my dating life.
Priorities.
To manage the
It's awesome because I'm living my mental orgy fantasy every day. So during my last one-on-one with my manager, she told me, you should make your engineer team your best friend. And I was like, don't worry, I always go above and beyond. I marry all of them. In my head. So that's my set. If you know any cute nerdy tech guys that's like Nando-san from a Korean drama startup who are single and ready to mingle.
Woo!
And then my
Yay! Thank you, Amy. Thank you.
And by the way, I hope this show will be posted on LinkedIn because I'm broke. I still need my job.
Don't worry, Amy. I'll give you the recording. Our next comedian is Anna. After a terrible breakup, she packed a bag, went on a 20-month adventure to find herself. Really, everyone all aboard this comedy express as Anna shares her wild stories from her nomadic days of living out of a backpack. All right, Anna. All right. I'm going to spotlight you as well so you can dance.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, welcome. Thanks, everyone. All right, let's get the ball rolling. Hey, ladies, don't you hate it when you go to sit down and pee and a condom falls out? Yep. Very traumatic. To be honest, I was more concerned about where that condom ended up because condoms don't biodegrade. It probably ended up in the ocean somewhere, just floating around the Pacific, right into the mouth of a sea otter. And the sea otter chokes and dies. And guys, I love sea otters. They're my favorite animals. If you like sea otters, don't wear a condom. If you care about the environment, don't wear a condom. Forget about it. Be like me. Get an IUD. You can be a walking cum dumpster. Hashtag zero waste. Zero waste, baby. Yes. Well, we do have to take care of the planet, right? Remember a year ago when Australia was on fire? Like 1 million animals perished. I was so sad because I call Australia my second home. I spent a year there and it was such a magical time. I highly recommend it. If you haven't turned 35 yet, you can still do a working holiday visa in Australia. And I had a very authentic experience. I tried surfing in Byron Bay. It was so difficult. I even got to try kangaroo meat, which is a sustainable source of meat, believe it or not. And I also contracted chlamydia. Yep. Very authentic experience. Fun fact, 90% of adult koalas have chlamydia. And I wish I knew that before I asked a koala came over for Netflix and chill. I do miss Australia. I was the one with an accent there. People would come up to me and be like, "Oh, where's your accent from? Are you from America?" Yeah, it was nice being a unicorn there. After my visa expired, I went to Southeast Asia. I backpacked for like 6 months. I got to play in a bunch of random ultimate frisbee tournaments, which is where I met Jared from Siem Reap. Honestly, I spent a month in Cambodia, and Cambodia is wild. I got to live in a little village called Empire Bay Village, this beautiful community full of like British expats. I was bartending at a beach bar. I wasn't even wearing shoes. It was awesome.
Oh,
Cambodia, everything is legal, guys. You can go to the pharmacy. You can get some Xanax without a prescription. You could also rent a bazooka. Yeah, it's like $200 to rent a bazooka, and it also comes with a live cow for you to shoot at. So yeah, but the Chinaman in me was like, I don't know if I want to like blow up a cow in smithereens because I'd rather eat that cow. $200 is a lot of money. I could buy like 20 happy pizzas with that. I want to ask the audience a question. I don't want you to make noise. Maybe like wave your hands on the screen if you don't do recreational drugs. Who doesn't do drugs? Let's see. Oh my God, Amy, really? You've never smoked weed?
No.
You've never done mushrooms?
No.
You've never done cocaine?
No.
Okay.
I'm an obedient Chinese daughter.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can I buy your pee? Like, clean pee is so hard to come by these days. You have liquid gold, my friend. I'm gonna message you after the show and we can like make some business. Yes. So a lot of people go to Southeast Asia to find themselves. I had a friend that went to this 10-day silent meditation retreat. And what you do is you go in there, they separate the men and the women. And what you do is you meditate for 12 hours a day. They feed you like one vegetarian meal a day, but you meditate for 12 hours a day. And he said it was life-changing. It was amazing. To me, that sounded like a fucking nightmare. I don't think I can, be alone with my thoughts for more than 2 hours. Oh my God. Well, I did find myself in Asia. I found myself with a lot of bed bugs. Very authentic experience. Yeah. Don't worry. I left them in Vietnam. Oh man, you don't want to see my legs. It's like full of bed bug bites, mosquito bites, and they're going to be there forever. It's like a Rorschach painting. Very classy. What I also noticed about in Southeast Asia were how big the dog balls are. Like they don't neuter pets there. So you just have dogs with big balls just swinging around the streets. I don't see dog balls in Canada. They neuter everything. Even like, yeah, you see the dog moms with their droopy nipples just sagging on the streets. Yeah, that's cool. I also like the street foods in Southeast Asia. Going up to the street vendors for sure. But this one time I was in a hurry to catch a bus in Hoi An. So I just was like, okay, just give me whatever. This lady was making some like steamed meat patties with banana leaves wrapped around them, which looked really good. And so I opened it up. I took one bite and I was like, this is a very unfamiliar flavor and texture to me. Am I eating a dog? And I thought, oh my God, I'm eating a dog. But you know what? I ate a kangaroo once and kangaroos kind of look like people. So I can't really complain about eating dog because I'm pretty sure I ate a person or a kangaroo. Anyways, yeah. When in Asia, what I miss most about Southeast Asia are the bum guns.
And me.
Yeah. You know what bum guns are? Okay, so like every toilet in Southeast Asia has a hose attached to it, and you get a little nozzle. Because toilet paper is kind of hard to come by in Southeast Asia. So if you go number 2, you're going to be using that bum gun. The bum guns are so essential. And it's really important that you have the right amount of water pressure too. Because if you don't have the right amount of water pressure, like if it's like really weak coming out, you're just like, this is not doing anything for me. You're literally just scraping shit with the bum gun out of your ass. Not fun. But it's also not fun with the other problem where the water pressure is too high.
That hurts, yo.
Yeah. You will tear yourself a new asshole, sir. You'll end up with 2 assholes if you're not careful with the bum gun. Faux show. But yeah, my ass has never been cleaner since Asia. I'm actually kind of inspired. I kind of want to carry around like a water pistol whenever I go to the bathroom now, just so I can like my butt. And I definitely wish I had that when I was on the train going across Canada. Canada is a beautiful country. We've got mountains, we've got the prairies, we've got the lakes. It took 3 days from Toronto to Jasper on the train. I was in economy, so I did not have a bed. I didn't have a shower. I had to get creative. And how I cleaned myself was I'd go into like the little washroom. And if I did not have dry shampoo, I would just shove my head under the sink. Ta-da! Hooker shower. Yeah, that's how I stayed clean. Okay, on the train, I also met this dude named Carl. Carl was kind of cool. Carl had like 10 pounds of weed on him. Yeah. And it's good that he did that on the train because when you're on the train, no one checks your bag. There's like no security like the airport. So if you want to smuggle drugs across the country, the Via Rail is the best way. But, you know, we got unlucky because there was a derailment that happened in Edmonton. So everyone had to get off at Winnipeg. Cool thing was Via Rail Canada paid for every passenger's flight to get from Winnipeg to Edmonton. And Carl was like, no, I cannot fly. I don't know if he's in jail right now, but it was really nice meeting him. And I got to Jasper eventually. Jasper is awesome. The first thing I noticed when I got there was, man, the dogs have really big poop here. It was elk shit. My bad. I was really bummed that I didn't get to see the prairies. I really wanted to take the train across the flatlands. Some people said I didn't really miss that much. They said the prairies are so flat that if your dog ran away, you can still see it running down the street a week later. I've never had a dog, but I'll tell you about my first pet. It was a rabbit. Its name was Snappy, and it was like an albino rabbit. Unfortunately, it did get really fat. And I remember coming home one day from school, and Snappy was in the bathtub, and my grandma was there too. And I was like, hey, Grandma, are you giving Snappy a bath? She was like, no, I'm making dinner. Oh, okay. Totally thought this was normal. I'm at school a few years later. I noticed my friend Sarah's really sad. Just like, hey, Sarah, why are you so sad? And she tells me, my cat died last night. And I was like, oh, did you guys eat it? Sarah looked at me like, what the fuck? And that was the day I realized families don't eat their pets. And I asked Sarah, I was like, oh, so how did your cat die? She was like, oh, my uncle put it in the microwave. Okay. Just a regular Tuesday at the trailer park, I guess. Weird white people shit. I don't know. Yeah. And then I asked Sarah, I was like, so how long did your uncle microwave the cat for? And how long is that on defrost? Because, you know, if I put a cat in the microwave, I'm not going to put a live one in there. I'm not a monster. Okay. No killing pets. Got it. All right. Did you know the age of consent in the Philippines is 12 years old?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
That was a weird family vacation.
Oh
Who knew my mom was into little Filipino boys? Just kidding. We adopted little Bruno Mars. We took him back home to Canada. Now he's in nursing school. You know, the Filipinos are great nurses. It's more of an investment because someone's got to take care of my parents when they're old, and it sure ain't me. Kidding. We didn't bring Bruno Mars back to Canada. We harvested his organs in the Philippines and made profit. Boom. Oh, no organ harvesting jokes either. Okay, I butchered that one. All right, last one. Last joke for you. I have this innocent face and I feel like I can get away with a lot of things. My mom let me get away with most things as long as, you know, my marks were good. I used to stay out late all the time. I would stay at the library and play Neopets till the library closed because we didn't have internet at home. I know, so cool. And so I would come home late. My mom's like, Anna, where were you? She's like, oh, I was at the library doing a school project. And she's like, okay, good girl. And then in high school, my friend Alex and I grew magic mushrooms. And we like grew it in this tub and it was just kept in my room because that's where a lot of the best lighting was. And I remember my mom coming in and she was like, Anna, what is that? And I told her, oh, it's a science fair project, Mom. We're growing mushrooms for science. And so, of course, she was like, okay, good girl. Keep it up. I was terrible at math. So I needed all the help I could get for math. And my math teacher would come over to give me like private lessons in my room. And I remember my mom coming in and she's like, Anna, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting an A. And then my mom goes, don't forget to cup his balls. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next comedian we have is Sam. Sam Kumar was born. Her other accomplishments include making toast, wearing a hat sometimes, and still being a person who was born. Also, she once saw a duck. Let's welcome her to the stage. Hey.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, Amy and Anna, you were amazing. Like, I was just thinking if I talk like you girls, like PG 13, 16, or 18, I just sound like someone's old English grandma reading out. So sad. I just can't ever make a dirty joke. And Anna's travel tales, they just reminded me when I lived in Amsterdam. So sorry, Anna, I don't have liquid gold. Also, as an Indian, I just hate this missed business opportunity. Fuck. But, yeah, so when I was in Amsterdam, so they have these really long names of places, and I would go and I'd ask a person, like, where's Dam Square or Heineken's Pine or something, and they never understand me. And then once there's this tall Dutch woman, I went to her and I was like, excuse me, where's Lieder's Pine? And she understood me. I was like, oh shit, was I racist? Like, can you be racist to a Dutch person? Maybe, but I feel like my brown ancestors really enjoyed it. So that's what I did in Amsterdam the whole time I stayed there. Just loved it. And also, as I speak, I can sort of hear the confusion in your brains. You're like, what the fuck is that accent? I mean, it's not quite English, maybe Australian, but no, she does not stretch her words. Maybe South African? Indian? But that doesn't sound like Apu Raj. See, so the thing is, I was born to Indian parents, but I was raised by my English grandma. And then I have graced so many European countries with my presence that I call my accent the Bollywood version of Downton Abbey. And talking about Bollywood, it just reminds me of my first trip to India. So I was 16 and I was very, very, very excited that I was going to India because I was finally coming home to my country and my people. And it was so amazing. So as the plane lands in New Delhi, I decide to go to its most famous butter chicken place. I go to the restaurant, and this tall Indian server, he comes in, and I order the largest bowl of butter chicken. And he just looks down at me. Madam, it is very spicy. I was so offended. I am Indian. I was born with spices. I'm ginger spice. I can eat spices. You, Mr. Pellick, I ordered this largest bowl of butter chicken, and it came, and like a proper Indian girl, I sat on the floor, rolled up my sleeves, used my hands, and ate up every single piece of that chicken. That served you right, Mr. India. Yeah, but the next day I was forced into an arranged marriage. I was in the bathroom. It's sad. It's not like my spice tolerance is bad, but my Italian boyfriend can eat more spicy wings than I can. So that just gave me existential crises. I'm like, I can't introduce this white boy to my parents now. That's it. Like, the relationship's done. I have to eat more spices than my partners can. But talking about food, I just love being Indian. Like, in any country I've been to, once I tell people I'm Indian, I become the authority in Indian. I am the Maharani of the place. I talk about Bollywood, I give out political opinions, I talk about food. But what really, really, really bothers me is that in North America, I am not Indian. Yeah, it's like 1.2 billion of us do not get to be Indian in North America. You know, who is Indian? So in Canada, there is something called the Ministry of Indian Affairs. It still exists. Yes, they do not care about my affairs. Oh, no. They decided to find Native Canadians and call them Indians. They don't like it. I don't like it. Nobody cares. The Ministry of Indian Affairs ignores me. And it's like, it's come to a point, like, there are forms, and you have all of these boxes under your race and ethnicity. I never, ever, ever can check the box marked Indian. There's a box called Chinese. Chinese people are 1.3 billion, 1.4 billion. I don't know how much work Indians have to do to get a box in North America. I mean, just give us a week. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah. So I always have to check the box marked others. It is such a lazy way to just classify a seventh of the population of the world. Do you know what others are? Others are Druze or Zoroastrians. Who are they? Where are they? Where are others? Indians are not others. Others is like, you have a question called, what is your favorite mode of transport? So you have a car, you have a bicycle, boat, plane, that weirdo who likes the unicycle, other. This Italian with a machine gun in a sidecar, that's other. That's other. This is complete bollocks. No, I am not another. And talking about Canada, like, we all know Justin Trudeau. He is so handsome. I was so happy when I came to Canada a couple of years ago. Like, I actually have Prince Charming for my Prime Minister. Yes, he is such a pretty boy with wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hair. But oh my God, it's so hard to take him seriously. I mean, that's what you get for being an alumni of a teacher's college, where the only requirement is that you do not touch children. And as far as I know, Justin Trudeau has not touched kids. So talking about Justin Trudeau being an Indian, please Google photos. of him, not Indian, sorry, Indian. I am an Indian. Just Google photos of his trip to India a couple of years ago. So this was supposed to be a serious diplomatic trip where he was supposed to meet Indian delegates talking about trade relations. So there were people from the financial cabinet there, possibly our prime minister. And so what does Justin Trudeau do? I saw the photo and the videos. So you have all the Indian delegates in their smart suits, looking more serious with binders and everything. And Justin Trudeau looks like an extra in a Bollywood movie. For some reason, he decides to wear a random costume which Indians usually don't wear, except when their mom force them to at weddings. And he's there. Poor Justin. Just feels so bad for him. And he tries really hard. He really tries hard. But I just wish he was as smart as other politicians, like the British politicians. Like these smart politicians, they know how to tackle questions. When the coronavirus pandemic started, Mr. Orange in America, he declared that every person should drink bleach to kill the virus. So this journalist asks Justin Trudeau that. It's like, hey, Mr. Prime Minister, what do you think about President Trump saying that people should drink bleach? And this is a hard question. Like, as a politician, you know that you can't mess your relationship with America. That's your biggest trade partner. But you still can't tell your people to drink bleach. So what does Justin Trudeau do? He stayed silent for 23 seconds. I was just thinking, I just imagine how Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister in the UK, how would he tackle hard questions? Another Google exercise for you. Please look for a video of Boris Johnson running over a child in a rugby match. So imagine the post-match interview for that. Mr. Prime Minister, how would you explain running over that child in the friendly rugby match? Oh, yeah, that kid was a complete bunker. No, I was teaching him the importance of not getting things for free and when you went too much. Yes, that's it. See, no pause. He answered a question. That's what politicians do. You ask them a question, and then a politician's like, oh, wonderful question, wonderful question. So what's your name? Brian, yes, very important question, Brian. You should ask such important questions. And yes, and you're a journalist, I see, with Sky TV. Brilliant. I am so proud we have people like this asking such important, pertinent questions. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, my time's out. Thank you. Justin, I don't know why he doesn't do that. And this is one of the many reasons UK will always win over Canada. Like Boris Johnson says, Canada is just another county of the UK. This and another reason UK is so much better than Canada is that North America in general. I don't want to pick on Canada. It's a very nice country. They like me, and I've applied for citizenship, so I like Canada. Yes, hello Canada. I love you so much. But one of the biggest reasons UK is so much better than Canada is that we do not smile at strangers. We do not look at strangers. We're not bloody psychopaths or serial killers. No. We just don't do that. In Canada or North America, if you're stupid enough to look at a stranger who's staring at you for some random reason, that stranger will smile at you. And if your polite instinct asks you to smile, that stranger will come and start talking to you. This was my biggest problem when I first came to Canada. It was such a torture. Like I'd have random Canadians just come and try and talk to me, and I just look at them and I'd be like, "Mere ko Hindi English nahi aata. I do not speak English, no English," and I just did that. safely for a couple of months. And it was amazing. Like I was at a mall and there's this really tall Canadian bloke. Let's call him Moose. So Moose comes to me and he tries talking to me. So I look at him, I reply in Hindi and just walk away. It just always perfectly works. And the next thing I know, I hear Moose talking to me back in Hindi. This wanker, like every random white person, had decided that India was a great place to be. And next thing I know, without invitation, Moose starts explaining to me what a mall is. Even Satan needs invitation to possess you. And then 2 hours later, I am at a coffee shop with Moose, still talking in Hindi, translating the menu that's in English, which I can read perfectly because of my English genes and common sense. He's translating the menu, and I had to spend 3 hours with a human equivalent of a sleeping pill. And that is when I bought my big ass headphones. And that's how I exist in North America now. Thank you. That's my time.
Yeah, Sam.
Yay, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. No, but other than that, like, thanks everyone for joining. Like, we had a really good turnout, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday nights. And I'm just gonna continue drinking my rosé and hanging out. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna play music, and we can all just kind of hop out of the Zoom room. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, everyone.